I am Geoffrey in the Italian Wars, a mod for Medieval 2 Total War Kingdoms. This is the battle beta of the forthcoming 5th version of the mod, and we will be looking at a custom battle between the Swabians and the Swiss. So these are the Swabians with their Landsknecht pikemen and arquebusiers around every tercio. This is something I had not thought of before. I had at least never thought of trying out before. So every tercio has a block of pikemen and arquebusiers in loose formation, and this causes them to be on every side of each tercio. So there are 8 tercios, 3 on the front line, 2 in the second line, 3 on the back. And if we look at the tercio, you can see there are arquebusiers on every side. There are also some swordsmen here. So the Spanish and some of the Italian states used swordsmen and then mixed them in with the pikemen in the tercio. And I wanted to see how well this type of deployment will work in the game. So again, there are some swordsmen mixed in with the tercio. There are arquebusiers on every side. This is the 3rd tercio at the front. Again, arquebusiers on the right side at the front, on the left side also at the back. Now here's our enemy. Our artillery is about to fire. And here another unit of arquebusiers are about to fire. The enemy is within range. So this mod has really wonderful units with very interesting colors, very colorful looking. This is the tercio on the second line. They're also now firing at the approaching enemy. And another thing is that the soldiers in this mod have new faces. They have Italian faces from this period. Very interesting looking, very beautiful. And one thing that's very appealing, in my opinion, is the mix of colors. The enemy is being hit by cannon shot. It's nice to have this more varied mix of colors. A wonderful animation as well. Because at this period, soldiers were not really wearing uniforms. So here's the enemy approaching us, the enemy pikemen, and here's some cavalry making an attack on our right wing. Our cavalry is responding in kind. It's also very nice to see that in this mode the cavalry attacks on the flanks. They don't attack the pikemen, they attack the cavalry, which is more historically correct. And our cavalry has routed them. Here's the enemy pikemen, very nice looking. And the enemy pikemen are now about to engage with our pikemen into a push of pike. They receive some lead shot in the teeth, and now they are engaged in a push of pike with our pikemen. And we have also some swordsmen here, some double-handers, and the double-handers have engaged with them as well. So right now we will watch some of the battle scenes from the ground level, and at the very end I will show you a replay of the battle from above, so you can just see the tercio arrangement. So there are beautiful battle scenes. The unit scale isn't huge, and here you can see that an enemy tercio has tried to get in between our tercios, and they are being shot at by the arquebusiers that were on the side of the tercios. So they fired a volley, they emptied the arquebusiers, and now they've taken out the swords. amazing behavior. This is very, very nice. I'm surprised I had never tried to do this. I thought it wouldn't work to have the arquebusiers in loose formation, and I just never really tried it. But visually, it looks perfect. It looks very nice. So here's another tercio, or so this is the same tercio, and we see a picture of pikes, the arquebusiers. Some of them have taken out the swords. Some of them are actually firing their arquebuses at the side of the enemy pikemen. So here's that nice push of pikes. More enemy units are approaching, and you can see some enemy arquebusiers. They are firing at our tercios. This is also historically correct. So at around about 50 paces, the shot units, the arquebusiers for example, stopped advancing, and just the pikemen advanced. And the fact that the pikemen double pace, so they advanced at a fast pace, and the arquebusiers covered them. They stayed stationary at that point and covered them, which is more or less what you saw there. Another wonderful push of pikes, wonderful gun smoke. Nice colorful units. You can also see some of the custom faces, special for this mode. Very, very nice faces. Nice colors, nice faces, nice skins. So here on the left is one of the tercios on the second line. And here one of the tercios on the front line. They are being engaged with Swiss pikemen, some very heavily armored Swiss pikemen with breastplates and helmets. Very, very nice.
Pray something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain.
This tercio has been double teamed by these heavy Swiss pikemen. Another push of pikes here. There are some swordsmen mixed in with our tercio. These are Knights of Malta type units. They have the Cross of Malta on their shields. They are a unit that you can get in the game, in the mod. And again, very nice skins, wonderful looking Swiss pikemen. And of course the Landsknecht pikemen are even more nice looking. So there's a wonderful battle scene here. The scale, the unit scale is huge, and the battle scenes are very impressive.
We're under attack!
So you can see some halberdiers running now. They have been routed. They have vanilla halberds, but there are also some halberdiers in the mod that have special halberds. You will see some here. You can see maybe some. You can still see them. Different halberds. These are not vanilla halberds. These are special halberds for the mod. Very, very nice looking. More push of pikes. Wonderful looking. An amazing battle. It makes you to want to be there. So this unit tried again to get in between the tercios and has been routed. These pikemen have gotten the better out of our own tercio here. They double teamed this tercio and they almost completely destroyed it. There are just a few men left, mainly the swordsmen. But the other tercios are holding up. More enemy units try to get in the space between tercios. Wonderful push of pikes. You can see some of the vanilla halberds. These are possibly not vanilla, they may be a different type as well. So this unit that tried to get in the space between the tercios has been routed. Push of pikes here continues. More push of pikes with the halberdiers. Halberdiers use their halberds more or less as pikes. The thing that looks like an axe at the end, the axe head, was mostly used to block enemy pike thrusts or halberd thrusts. It was not meant to be used as a hammer or as an axe or anything like that. So they're actually being used correctly here. So another glorious push of pikes. The battle scenes are wonderful. And here the enemy general has come up with a cunning plan. He is about to charge our cannon on this side. Now one amazing thing you will see in a minute. So our cannon has been charged, but you can see the enemy general's bodyguard is losing men. They are being decimated. They're being fired at by the arquebusiers on the sides of the tercio. And this is a wonderful thing. It's probably why they had arquebusiers on every side, to protect also their artillery, to protect the nearby tercios. And you can do it in this way. And so the enemy general's bodyguard has been decimated by fire from the arquebusiers on the sides of the tercios. And he has retreated. He is now about to be charged by our own general's bodyguard. These enemy arquebusiers or handgunners, whatever they are, have been routed. The two generals are caught in a duel here. More wonderful looking Landsknecht pikemen with their arquebusiers on every side. Another enemy pike unit that tried to get in the space between the tercios has been routed.
The enemy are badly bloodied.
Another wonderful push of pikes with those halberdiers with the new halberds. These new halberds are amazing. Or perhaps they are the Ottoman Janissary halberds, I'm not sure, but they're very nice looking. More heavily armored Swiss pikemen have been routed. And here's a view from above of the battlefield. The 8 tercios, they're arranged in 3 lines. There are swordsmen in the front 3 tercios. The other 5 tercios do not have swordsmen. We have an artillery unit on one side that's firing at the approaching enemy. And this is just to have a look, a bird's eye view of the battlefield and of the tercio arrangement. This is more or less historical looking. The tertial deployments were in checkerboard type formation, so they were usually around 8 or so tercios in an army. And if the army was large, then the tercios had more men. But the usual number is supposed to have been around 8 or 10. That was thought of as a good number, at least at this period. And so the push of pikes has started, the enemy pikemen are advancing forward. If they try to get in between the tercios, then very often they get around it. And so this is just to get an overview of the battle from above. I will not show the whole battle, but you get perhaps a bit of a feeling of what it looks like from above. Very glorious looking, I would say. Very, very nice. I had never thought of trying out such a deployment. So the battle is on autoplay. Of course, the chances of winning on autoplay are not great. You can still win. It's a kind of 50-50 chance. It's basically the AI fighting the AI. If you have a nice deployment, maybe it's better than 50-50, because the AI can already understand the strategic situation. So few units have been routed, so we're doing well.
The enemy general has no honor. He flees the field of battle and abandons his men.
So I hope you found this interesting. It was an interesting experiment to see how this works out. The Landsknecht pikemen and their tercios fared reasonably well, so this arrangement worked out.
This is a clear victory that goes to only men of great virtue and valor.
Thank you for watching.